No, I have some bonus footage I want to share with you guys going back to the video we did a couple of days ago that involved these jets that were flying in formation. Captain Dave noticed this black object that did appear in the video as the jets were flying through the sky. I had zoomed in on that and there were wings flapping up and down. That was a bird that was closer to the viewer than it was to the airplanes. I'm heavily zoomed in on the airplanes right here. So I did inspect that, Dave, and that was a bird with moving wings. But great observation.
Okay, this video is not for people who think these are bugs or birds or bats because they appear to have wings. This video is not to convince them that they're not birds, bugs, and bats. If you want to learn, all you got to do is watch Custodian Files videos. Start with the most recent one, work your way back, and after you've done about 4, 5, 6 videos, you'll be to the point where you know that what he's filming are not bugs and birds. The guy's got credentials. He is authorized to give presentations on these UAP Dragons at the Air Force Base. And he's the only civilian that's authorized to do that. You could say, well, he's lying. Everything's fake. But he also says he has a medical patent and he started the first online pharmacy. He's well established. He's not a YouTuber trying to get YouTube clout. He's a one-issue YouTuber, and his one issue is these UAP Dragons. I'm pretty sure he used to be in the Air Force. So he kind of blurs the line between the military-industrial complex. He's on the industrial side. He's a private citizen, a civilian, who goes in and gives presentations to the military about these UAP Dragons, as he calls them. But Mr. MB3 here says, I zoomed in and I saw wings flapping up and down. That means it was a bird. Do you see any wings? Mr. MB3 here is also helping move the Overton window to a place of understanding. So he's exposing people to these while saying, but it's just a bird because I saw wings. I am going to cover some more that appear to have wings. When you've watched enough of Custodian Files videos, you come to a point where you know what he's filming is not birds and bugs, or they wouldn't let him onto the Air Force Base to give presentations about these things. And even without him saying that they allow him to do that, watch a few of his videos, you'll come to the understanding these aren't birds and bugs. And after you've watched a few of his videos, you'll see that some of them do have what appear much like wings. And so it's understandable how that is going to slow down the learning curve for most people. If they see something that looks like wings, they'll assume bird or bug. So I saw that the other day when Mr. MB3 first played that video of the Blue Angels. I rewound it to look and see, and sure enough, and as Mr. Custodian Files here says, that's a common place to find them, is at air shows. We're going to watch the first minute and a half of this video where he shows another one that appears to have wings.
Hello, welcome back everyone. This is Robert from Custodian File. All right, let's jump on in here. Thank you for watching here. What do we have here? We have a tourism flying by Marina Del Rey. We have these small UAPs for the new viewers. We have these small UAPs flying around since 2017. I call them dragons because at first, 6 years ago, I thought they were dragonflies, but they're not dragonflies, they're not birds, they're not insects. Here we go, we got a video from Florida, from Aiden here. People from all over the world are sending me their dragon videos. All you have to do is record helicopters, airplanes, hold your phone, landscape, zoom in halfway. If you can, try to, have something like a power cord in front of you because it's nice because they'll fly behind the power cord, these electrical wires. Thank you for sending in your videos. There really are. They're coming in from all over the world here. I'm running 724, editing and posting these things here. And you could do this. Anyone could do this. It's just that Marina Del Rey is, for some reason, infested. We do not know why. Again, these UAPs are all over the world. They're all over the air shows, Blue Angels, Thunderbirds. But Marina Del Rey is infested. And how do I know that? Because I live Marina Del Rey. I've been recording these. I have over 4,000 videos. I've extremely well documented. I have a heavy science background. I'm a retired clinical pharmacist. I know a little bit about chemistry, physics, etc. here. So I just wanted to just keep you updated. Please feel free to comment. subscribe. You can contact me at custodianfile@gmail, custodianfile@gmail. Let's go to the next video.
Here's one where you can see what appears to be wings through the entire flight of the dragon. He's right over here, and he flies up this way, and you can see what appears to be wings almost flapping. In many of the videos, you can only see what appears to be a wing in a single frame, not the rest of the frames. But in this video, you can see it repeatedly as it flies toward the camera, what appears to be wings. Very unlikely that's a bird or bug, because enough of these have shown a frame here and a frame there with what appears to be a wings. No longer, in the mind of the person who understands these things exist, does "it had what looked like wings" mean that it's a bird or a bug. To someone who's been studying these and recognizes that many of them in a few frames appear to have wings, but they're moving 2,000 miles an hour, so they're definitely not birds or bugs, then when you see one that appears to have what looks like wings, that doesn't eliminate it as a possibility of being one of these UAP dragons. The point of this video is to help people that are just as far along the learning curve as I am keep moving down that learning curve, because what these two UAP dragons that he shows in this video, these are not far away up there in the sky. These are right next to people's heads. And that's a very unique capture. Most of his videos are up there in the sky near airplanes. In this one, he shows that one with the plane as the backdrop flying right through the crowd. And here in a second, he shows one flying right next to someone's head. Knowing that they're not just up there in the sky, but they're right here next to us, yet we cannot see them, puts it in a whole new context. It's not out there somewhere, it's right here next to us. And who controls the dragons controls the world. Look at this one fly right next to that person's head and take off. And that all happens in about 1/4 of a second. 60 frames per second. 6 frames is 1/10 of a second. 30 frames is 1/2 a second. And you can count how many frames. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clears the field of view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 8 frames, 1/10 of a second, it clears the field of view. Bugs don't move that fast. So when you know that these are all around us by the billions, and that they can be right there next to your head and no one in the crowd can see them, it means resistance is futile, and you're not in a negotiating position to lay terms and conditions of your surrender. And this relates to the conditions of our world as they're escalating toward a world that is desperately in need of some stranger's hand in a desperate land. Get out of here. As it continues down this path, eventually you'll need someone to intervene. And when they do, it will appear like a hostile takeover and an overthrow in a worldwide regime change. When the current powers that be around the world are dislodged from power. All communications are seized. All military powers are neutralized. It will appear like an alien invasion. And we will assume they are here to dominate and enslave and subjugate humanity rather than here to liberate. And the only way someone who is abused by their abuser is willing to leave that abuser. Imagine an abused woman who's being abused by a man, and some other guy comes along and says, "Come with me, you deserve better than this." She's only willing to do it if she knows that this guy that's offering her a liberation is capable of overpowering the guy that she's being abused by. Otherwise, if she ends up back in the hands of her abuser, he will hold it against her and take it out on her for accepting that offer. I've been working on a jailbreak. Angels on the sidelines again. Wondering when this tug of war will end. And here in America, we think we're in the land of the free, the home of the brave, so anyone that shows up and kicks in the doors, they must be here to enslave us because we're already free. Therefore, we couldn't be freed from the tyranny that we're under. We're already free. So anyone who shows up here and overpowers the powers that be are here to enslave us. Once we're desperately in need of some stranger's hand, the only way you'll be willing to accept that stranger's hand is if you know that they can overpower your current abusers. And when you see that these are all around us, right next to your head, and then they're in our skies by the billions, but unable to be seen, it gives you a context within which you can understand the current situation. So I know that even people that have come to the point where they recognize, okay, what this guy's capturing is not just bugs and birds, they might tend to compartmentalize these, the ones that are right here next to us. Like, okay, maybe that one was a bug. Even though I know all the other ones can't be bugs because they're moving way too fast and they're way too predictable and they follow patterns that bugs don't follow. Like going by every single airplane and helicopter that passes by, anything that flies above 150 feet. This guy's capturing them way too consistently for them to be bugs or birds. Even the person that's come to that point of understanding might take these ones that are right next to people's heads and compartmentalize it and disassociate it and disassociate from it and say, I think I'm going to throw that one in the bug category. Because even though I know they're not all bugs and whatever he's capturing here are definitely not bugs and birds, I think I'm going to just throw that one in the probably a bug pile, probably a bird. Because it's so close to us, because it's right here in your face, not up there in the sky. It makes it very uncomfortable to acknowledge and recognize it as just another one of these UAP dragons. Just as a quick recap, in the first 50 seconds of this video, there's one right here, and then you can see one right here come into view and one down here below it in a triangle pattern. And I zoom in past it and then zoom back out. Those are not bugs or birds, those are hovering in the sky right above my head. And when I zoom back out, you'll see two of them appear below the main one right here. And the fact that you cannot see them the whole time means they have some sort of cloaking system even when they are stationary. It's understandable that you can't see them when they're hauling ass. But right here, even when they're stationary, now you can see two. One here and one right above it. And if you watch, there'll be a third one appear here in just a second. Trying to pause it on the right spot because they come in and out of view. One right here, one right here, one right there. See all three of them now? And they flicker in and out of view. And when you pause it at a spot where you can see the two that are down below, there's also others in the sky. Oops. Like this one. And this one. Oh, come on. Pencil for me. Por favor. Right there. So, I'm sure they have the capability of allowing themselves to be seen. They are not incapable of making themselves visible. And at some point, when they do, most people are going to be taken by surprise and project upon them our intentions and behavior patterns, assuming they are here to enslave and subjugate and dominate and exploit us and extract our labor, all the things that we do to our neighbors. And all your beans, bullets, and bandages ain't going to do you no good when they're working with plasma-powered weaponry and you're severely outgunned. Resistance is futile. You're not negotiating from a position of strength. And be still and know that I am God is probably some good advice.